Some opposition politicians under the aegis of the national opposition political parties have expressed their discontent with what they termed anti-democratic provisions of the Electoral Act 2026. The development followed the amendment passage by the National Assembly and a subsequent assent by President Bola Tinubu. The opposition parties expressed dissatisfaction with some provisions of the newly signed Electoral Act, insisting that transmission must be made compulsory to enhance transparency and credibility in future elections. They particularly lamented the absence of mandatory real-time electronic transmission of election results directly from polling units. Reading out the opposition stance in the speech, the national chairman, New Nigeria People's Party, Ajuji Ahmed, says the group met and decided to collectively articulate their position against what it described as offensive and anti-democratic Electoral Act 2026 recently passed by the National Assembly.
What is the problem with transmitting results instantly? Why is it a difficult issue? Unless there is something there that the rest of us don't know. And of course, there must be something. We can see it from FCT election. Again, the second issue is, why do you dabble into political parties' mode of selection of their candidates? What is the problem? Why do you want to be a party to it? The level of thuggery that has been introduced into politics now, it has never been this much. We haven't started campaign, and now you can imagine what to happen when we start campaign.
What you must bear in mind is that the collapse of democracy in Nigeria is going to lead to the collapse of democracy in Africa, because we are the largest democracy in Africa. These are some of the consequences that will definitely affect other democracies in Africa. So I will urge that
in the joint briefing, the party stated that its implementation will undermine electoral transparency and sanctity of the ballot, which is fundamental to free, fair, and credible elections.
We're pleading that we all come together to save our dear country. It is critical, it's important. The legislative arm is at its worst. The judiciary is no longer hope of the weak or the poor. We all know insecurity, killings, and abductions is worse than even countries at war.